Just get stuck on the tweezer. Also fingered by a dickless man. Alright, hi everybody, it's me, Pink again, Pink to Mouse, Cat to Some, and I'm coming at you with a little bit of a mix of a get ready with me and a little bit of a rant, because girl, things have been going on in the girl world and I'm messy. Alright, as y'all can see, I'm getting ready. I have work, but I woke up early enough. I didn't have my coffee, that's one thing I didn't do. I wanted to come on here and talk about some things that's been going on with Amberlynn and her current live stream era, because this heifer, I'm too fucking close. Is that good? Sorry, there's like a mess on my bed. Not really, I'm not gonna apologize for that. I wanted to talk a little bit about, some things that have been going on in girl world while I get ready for work, because there's been a lot going on, and there's been a little bit of talk in the town, and I did see the clip, and I'm just gonna say right now, it's gonna be about the transphobic comment that she made, because I feel like I'm allowed to talk about that. I just wanted to say that right now, Amber has been going through her live stream era, which I know, oh wow, Amber's saying live stream era and this all over again. We know, like, she's just too lazy to do anything. She said before, like, actually, me doing live streams is actually a lot more work than, like, videoing. Like, because, like, a video, it's, like, super easy, and I find editing super therapeutic. And listen, I love editing. It's not therapeutic. Video editing is the opposite of therapeutic. I have cried over editing many a time. I love to video edit, but goddamn do I also hate it. But I feel like that's with everything. Like, I love to draw, but I also hate fucking drawing. She had done a video talking about, or she was doing her live stream, and in that live stream, the comment was brought up that she had made in the LolCow Live Discord. I'll go ahead and put up the comment right here. And I left my closet open. I always leave my closet open. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Sorry. She says in that comment that she was also fingered by a dickless man. I keep wanting to say homeless man. That she was also fingered by a dickless man. And then she responds with LOL JK. She had also said, in reply to like another person, I believe, she said, me and her have a lot in common. And her reasoning behind it was that she was making a joke because the girl that she was talking about, named Sweetie, was actually like broken up with because she was with a man who was disfigured from an accident, or from an incident, basically. Like, something happened and he lost his pepper. And this is my issue with what she said. She says that we are all making a mountain out of a molehill, basically, and that we are all just kind of grasping at straws to say that she's transphobic. Now, here's my issue with that. We wouldn't have to grasp at straws, quote unquote, if there wasn't any behavior that led to that. Amber herself, Mr. Snowflake articulated it probably the best, where he said, you have a history about it, and showed evidence of her basically saying transphobic stuff. And yeah, I know that was her when she was like in her 20s or whatever. But at that point in her life, in her age, she was grown enough. Like, I'm sorry. I'm all for understanding that people at any age can fuck up and they can learn and grow from that. I'm 27 right now, regretfully so. And it's like, yeah, no, I'd be sitting down lying if I said, right now, in my first year of being 27, everything I'm going to do is going to be perfect, and I'm not going to regret everything, and I'm not going to be, like, fucking up left and right, or being immature, or any of that. Like, yeah, I'm going to be all of that, because, like, duh, I'm fucking human. I'm also stupid. So, yeah, I will be fucking up, and I will be gladly fucking up, but I'm not going to be fucking up in the same sense that she is. Because even when I was her age, when she was 25, I believe, when she was making these comments, I believe she was like, what, 25, 26, around that ballpark? She was too damn grown and too damn old, because I was in high school. Fresh, freshly out of high school into college. I wasn't making those jokes. I'm sorry. My family didn't raise me to be transphobic, mainly because I was also fucking trans at that point in my life. Granted, yeah, no, I was fucking trans. I didn't fully fucking understand being trans, and I didn't fully understand my own trans identity, but bitch, I was fucking trans. She made it into her own issue because, of course, everything for Amber has to involve her. And, of course, this one person who had to talk about, like, this incident that she was in, whether or not it was true, here comes Amber talking about, oh, well, you guys wouldn't get it because you aren't there. It's like, Amber, I don't understand what the joke is, because even when she explains it, she's like, you had to be there, and I was just making a joke. The joke was like, I know how she felt, because like it's so funny. Like she completely avoided saying why it was funny or why it was a joke. What was the joke? Your joke was, oh, me too. I was also fingered by a dickless man. Where was your joke? What was the joke? Like, tell me, what was the joke? Like, she had no joke. There was no joke. Her joke was basically her making a dig at one of her trans partners. Mainly, we all say she's making fun of Casey, and it's like I would have to agree. I think she is trying to be funny towards Casey, because I think Amber thinks it's funny to make fun of people, specifically people that she's been in relationships with. But I think she thinks it's funny to make fun of people who she doesn't understand. I think Amber's a bully. I think Amber's disgusting, and I think she likes, like a bully does when they get called out. She doesn't like the idea of having to own up and take accountability for what she said. I think she found it way easier for her to basically throw the blame onto Sweet Tea in a way, and onto the locale community, the locale live community, and say, "Oh, they're all transphobic because they all made that joke. I was just laughing. You made the joke. You made the joke." And it wasn't funny, and it wasn't like, you're not even trans, you don't support trans people, you don't like trans people, and even if she does have a quote-unquote trans friend, which I'm pretty sure at this point, now she's gonna suddenly pile out with someone and be like, I have a friend, and they are trans. She's gonna sit down and she's gonna be like, I know for a fact she's gonna do that bullshit. But it's like, no, you are transphobic, and even if they are trans, or even if you know anybody in your life that is trans, bitch, I know so many people who are transphobic, and they'll be okay with the trans person because they're trans in the right way. They're trans in a way that they like. Kind of like how there's so many people who are homophobic, but they like certain gay people because they're gay in a right way. I don't like how Amberlynn Reed stands in her LGBTQ-ness. Because I'm not one to like negate. Yes, I am. That's a lie. If you are what I would call a pick me gay, and that goes for anybody within the LGBTQ community, plus, um, if you're a pick me, when you immediately start to downplay and start to kind of insult and try to other people within the community to say like, oh, look at how much better I am because I'm not doing what they're doing. Those people are weirdos. I'm not gonna be one of those blue-haired gays. I'm not gonna be one of those blue-haired non-binary people with pronouns. I'm not like that. I'm a normal person. That's what I think Amberlynn is like. I think Amber finds herself to be the most normal lesbian out there, despite her relying on lesbian stereotypes to make herself and her irrationality with relationships make sense. It's not inherent by nature that lesbians immediately move in with each other. It's not inherent by nature that every lesbian that in the lesbian law book, after you know a girl for about five days, you immediately move in, bring your pets all the way across state lines, multiple state lines, to with the guise of moving in with them. That's not normal behavior at all, and it's not normal because you're lesbian. Anyways, yeah, no, she made a transphobic comment, and it wasn't funny, and I don't care what she says, bitch, you weren't fucking joking, because what was a joke? What was the joke? Like, we'll all sit and wait. I will gladly listen to what her explanation is, but there is no explanation, because what was the joke? Your joke was you quite blatantly interjecting yourself, trying to, like, LOL with Sweet Tea by saying, like, me too. So it's either A, you were making fun of somebody who had a disfigurement, which in of itself is ableist, Amber, or you're being transphobic. So it's like you get to pick. Are you transphobic or are you ableist? Which one do you feel like is the lesser of two evils? No, that's just my thing. She was blatantly being transphobic, trying to excuse it. But I don't. I said this before. I made that other video which was like almost an hour long. Sorry, where it's like Amber is quite blatantly a fucking transphobe. Amber is quite blatantly a fucking transphobe. She's quite blatantly also, in my opinion, I think she is fucking homophobic. I know that might be a crazy thing to say. Yeah, you can be a lesbian. You can still hate your own community and still be a part of it. And it's because I think Amber has a very old head way of thinking, but that's because Amber herself is a fucking old piece of shriveled up fucking beef jerky. She's an old lady with old lady features that has an old lady way of thinking because she's old. And again, to go also on her live streams also, it is kind of funny because I feel like every single live stream she's had, with the exception of one, she's been crashing out, raging out, and rage quitting. And this one she rage quit after people were kind of on her neck when it came to her transphobic comments, which also, I think, yeah, step on her neck when it comes to transphobic comments, along with all the other comments that she's made that have been weird, especially the ones that she's made towards other people who are LGBTQ. Specifically, okay, I think Jordy's gay. I don't know if Jordy said it specifically, and I know for a fact it's like, water is wet. I think Jordy's gay, but I ain't gonna be the one to be like outing people, even if like, like the crumble cookie guy, like, bitch, we all knew you were gay. We all knew that the crumble cookie dude was like, gay, you gay on the top. Well, he's bottom. Because you don't get to make fucking crumble cookies and then be a top. But also he was Republican, and that's what makes it scary. Anyways, she the way she talks about Jordy and the way she talks about other gay people, I hate it. Because the way she's almost in a way denying gay people their gayness, and then trying to be like, they want me so fucking badly. They want my body. They want me. Bitch, you're a spectacle. People don't want you because they want to dick you down, Amber. People are not looking at you. Yes, there are people who want to dick you down as a fetish. Congratulations, Amber. You're no different than a dildo. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm not here to be nice either. Just as a quick preface, I know there's other reaction channels who are very, very nice. I'm a ranter. I'm a rant reactor. I'm not going to be very nice to her because I don't think she deserves any niceties, and I'm okay with being mean. That being said, please don't be mean to me. I'm very sensitive. Please don't be mean to me. I'm very nice. But, like, with her, I'm not. She loves to sexualize almost everybody because she's so deluded in the fact and thinking, like, oh, everybody wants me. Everybody wants to fuck me. Nobody wants to fuck you, Amber. No reaction channel wants to fuck you. Nobody wants to fuck... No reaction channel finds you physically attractive. No reaction channel finds you physically, mentally, emotionally appealing. You aren't that girl. And I'm sorry to any big bitch or skinny bitch, hot bitch. Like, I'm sorry. No one of any size. And I'm mainly bringing it up within the big bitches, just because, like, again, like, love my plus size girlies. I love a plus size girl. No shade to the plus size girls. No shade to the fat bitches in the club tonight. But this is specifically going into like some of the bo-po bitches, like some of the fat acceptance bitches, where they're like their immediate rebuff towards everything is like, oh well, I can take your man if I want to. I can go in and take your man. And okay, congratulations. And a dog will always find food. And a homeless person will always find a place to shit. You're not getting prizes, and you're not any better just because you were able to have sex with a man, or because you were able to get a man, or able to become the other woman for a man or a woman. Getting sex and getting fucked and being seen as an object is the easiest thing that any human being can be seen as or do. Like, you're not getting bonus points because someone found you desperate enough and easy enough to basically fuck you. That's not a prize. You're not a prize. Again, a dog will always find food. So, like, what do you want? What do you want? If you can't find the trash can, people will litter. If you can't fucking shit, you'll go on the street. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, sorry, it's not the flex that some of y'all think it is. Getting fucked, having sex, taking someone else's man, that's easy work. That's light work. That's light work. A homely bitch can do it. The most attractive bitch can do it. Anyone can do it. It is easy peasy. Whether your morals want you to, that's the hard part. The hard part is finding someone who likes you for you. How many of you bitches out there can sit there and say that you're likable because of who you are? Because I know Amber can't. But it's like, no, that's my thing. The way that she completely sees herself as, like, way more attractive than she is, and almost every reaction channel or anyone who covers her wants to somehow have sex with her, wants to fuck her. No. No, Amber, no one wants to fuck you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want anything involving you, bitch. You're a fucking weirdo. You're fucking creepy. I don't like anything about you. Most of these channels don't want anything to fucking do with you. You're a fucking loser. Fucking weird. No. No one wants nothing to do with you. Point dot blank period. I'm sorry, girl. You're gonna have to find something to recover from because no one wants you. Period. No! It's okay. I caught my powder with my leg. Okay, if you ever want more full coverage, girls, gays, guys, whoever, go in with, like, a powder foundation and really just press it in. You never want to brush on a powder foundation, because then it's like, bitch, what are you doing that for? That's stupid. Also, I'm sorry, Amber does not know how to apply makeup. Every time I see her makeup, I'm like, damn, bitch, you look a fucking mess. Amber paints herself like she's still in middle school. And I know that's a shady thing to say. I know it's very... I know that's such, like, a petty thing to say. I know, I'm sorry. Let me get one in. Okay, that was my one in. But no. The way that she talks about Jordy, the way that she talked about Zach, the way that she talks about, like, all these other YouTubers, as if like they all somehow want to have sex with her, or they all want to have like some type of involvement with her. No one wants that, Amber. I can bet my bottom dollar none of them want anything. Oh, I was looking for this. It was behind my mirror this whole time. But like, no, it's like you really like she needs. It's so fucking weird. It's such a weird mentality that she has when it comes to like, I guess, especially when it comes to male reaction channels or male YouTubers in general, because she is firm. She is set in her way of thinking like every male YouTuber wants her. If you are a boy, and if you identify as a male, or more specifically, if you were born a male and you have a wiener, you want Amber so fucking badly. That's Amber's mentality. She thinks that if you are a boy, you want her so fucking badly. You want to be involved with her. You are just frothing at the mouth to have some type of sexual interaction with her. But she doesn't want that. She just knows that she's so attractive. She makes gay men turn straight. She makes the straight girls go bi. And she herself loves the idea of like getting men too. I'm sorry, it's quite blatant, especially in a lot of her live streams. She loves the idea of men. She loves the idea of like men coming for her and men lusting after her. Like that's the gag. Like she wants men to like her. And I think it's just such a loser mentality. Like, damn bitch, you're that desperate to be liked? I don't know, couldn't be me. I just naturally am. Sorry. Because again, now her live streams as of recent, she's in her latest live streams, she has been at her worst. And again, I think because of the Aunt Tammy thing, which I'm sorry, as a quick thing, Aunt Tammy, this is not the color that I wanted with the blush. I wanted something more pink, and this is more orange. Oh no, it's so orange and I wanted pink. That's okay. Ever since Aunt Tammy dragged the fuck out of Amber and gagged her so nasty, to which, like, I'm sorry y'all, just keep telling her that if y'all see any video of hers and you leave a comment, do not super chat her. Don't become a member of her thing. That's my honest opinion. I'm not telling you not what to do, because I don't know if it's against like YouTube guidelines to say shit like that. But in my opinion, if I were you and I had $10, I would burn it quicker than I would give it to an Amberlynn read live. I don't know. Buy yourself some food. I don't know. Donate to a worthy cause. But, like, ever since Aunt Tammy gagged the absolute fuck out of Amber and made that bitch sit there quiet and all sad, Amber's been on, like, a whole thing trying to be like, she never gagged me, she didn't gag me, I was splitting, I was this, I was that. No, she was gagged. I know some people have been saying, like, oh, well, Amber just didn't care. I think Amber did care. I don't think she cared that, like, I think if it was just one-on-one, I don't think Amber would have cared about that. I think it's the fact that it was in front of her audience, and now she knows it's going to be clipped and all that. I think Amber cares about that. I think that's what upsets Amber, is knowing that, like, her facade and the way that she likes to be viewed, especially after talking all that shit about me, like, oh, I'll talk to her real good. I'm gonna talk to her real good. And then immediately, like, pussing out. I think that's what got to her. Because, like, again, Amber fully lost how... I really hate how I did my blush today. Oh, my God. I can fix it. But, like, no. I think Amber is fully embarrassed at the fact, like, she got red. I think she's fully embarrassed that Aunt Tammy brought everything to the light and brought everything to the forefront and is still doing everything. And I'm all here for that. Because, again, I know some people were talking about how Aunt Tammy didn't need to bring up any of thing, or she didn't have to bring up all of this stuff that she did bring up, because it's like, what's the point? That's, like, too personal, blah, blah, blah. It's all on the table. Like, Amber brought everything up to begin with. Amber had been making videos about her family, about her aunt, about everything involving her mother from years ago and still to now, especially including her mother, where she keeps bringing up her mother's sobriety and basically being like, did you know that my mom was a horrible person? Did you know that my mother abused me and my brother? Did you know that my mother abandoned me for her druggy husband who would beat the shit out of her? Did you know that my mother almost killed me? Did you know that my mother almost killed her own mother by beating the fuck out of her? And it's like, you want me to root for your mother? And then you also want me to sit here and be like, yes, your woman is the most saintliest woman ever. No, your mother's probably a bitch. I'm pretty sure her mother is probably a good person now, but, like, to call out your mother, no, I'm pretty sure your mother is not a good person. Her history does not say so. And I'm allowed to say that because this is stuff that you made into the narrative, and now you're trying to change it. What did you want? Oh, it's because before, when she thought everything was going to shit with her mother, she wouldn't ever really have a relationship with her. It was all about let me drag my mother, let me call her out, let me say this, and this about her. But now that you need someone to drive you around and you need someone to help you, now suddenly you're all about your mother. But that's how Amber is. She likes to use. And again, in these live streams, she's been genuinely insufferable because she's at her smarmiest. But in my opinion, her smarmy, cocky nature is all because she's genuinely embarrassed and she's trying to, like, talk herself up. I think the way that she, because to me, it reminds me of, like, when a kid, or like in middle school, high school, when, like, the bully, or like when a person gets called out and they get dragged, or like they get in a fight, like a physical fight, and then they get dragged all the way back and forth by edges, by hair, by the kitchen, by everything. And then, like, the next minute they're on there and they're like, it didn't even hurt. They didn't even do shit. They didn't even do shit to me. Look, I'm good. LOL, I'm good. They did nothing. I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're not. And that's how I think Amber's feeling. I think her ego is crushed. I think she's mad embarrassed. I think she wants to try and, like, fight or retaliate against Tammy, but she doesn't have any way to fight or retaliate against her. Because, again, Amber loves to say, that's not the type of person I am. That is the type of person you are. To quite blatantly, Amber, the person that you are is quite obvious, because you talk mad shit, and you're incredibly bold when you don't think anyone's looking, or when you think you're gonna be like liked. You know what I mean? Amber's very bold when it comes to how when she thinks no one's watching, or when she thinks like she's gonna have like an audience behind her that agrees with her. But when she doesn't get that response, she folds. There we go. Yeah, no, Amber folds. She immediately folds when she is confronted and someone is kind of airing her out. Because that's what ended up happening. I'm out of setting spray. No. I'm going to have to use this one. And I think, again, like, it's like, anybody who basically is disagreeing with, like, what Tammy was doing, I'm sorry. No, I agree with her because, I'm sorry, Amber needed the fever, and Aunt Tammy gave her all the fever. I think they got everywhere. So, no, Amber got what she deserved, and now she's embarrassed, and now all of her live streams have kind of become, like, how much damage control can I actually do? Most of her damage control has now just become, like, let me try and act smarmy and smug, and try and be, basically, I'm gonna be a bitch, a big fucking cunt to everybody, and try and be shady, and then when shots get thrown right back at me, I'm gonna get sad about it. I'm gonna get super emotional. Let me go ahead and change, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I'm probably gonna put in a quick clip. I was trying to do my lashes and I was getting pissed. But we're good, done now. I'm gonna be going to work in a little bit, so let me try and get some of these points out. What I was saying was, I think Tammy had every right to call out everything that was going on with Amber and her family, because again, Amber cannot say that there is now such a, like, strong, like, you don't talk about this, period, when this whole time she's made the narrative be, look at how my mother has treated me horribly, look at how my father has treated me horribly, look at how horrible my brothers have been, I was beat, abused, I was a drug baby, which apparently she wasn't. She's called out her entire family and her entire lineage to basically say, like, look at me, poor Amber. Amber's been so abused, so traumatized, so this, so that. For her to then now only be like, well, now that someone else in this family who's also have this type of experience, they cannot say this now. They're not allowed to talk about it. And it's crazy to me because, again, like, this is something that we already knew. And it makes me, because I had this thought a little bit ago. I had this thought yesterday, because I recorded this yesterday night, and I could not get it out, because I got so sad. I also made coffee. I fucking hate the taste of coffee. So, when she was living with Casey and his mother, you know, I'm pretty sure we all know, if you know a little bit about the Amber lore, I'm pretty sure you've all been able to see the video where it was Casey and his mother going on live, and they kind of address, so I'm looking at my lashes, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Casey and his mother going on live, and they talk about their experience with Amber, to which then Casey's mother goes, yes, Amber was a horrible person to be with. And Amber, did I just fuck up my lash? Oh my god, I think I just fucked it up now. Anyways, Amber, I believe in turn was just kind of like trying to negate it and say like, no, they were abusing me. That family was so abusive towards me because they made me get a job. They made me do this. They made me do. My cat's on my lap now. Amber was talking. She spoke vehemently about like how no, the mother, Casey's mother was abusive and how this and this and this happened. Like all these bad things, all this traumatizing stuff happened. And it's crazy because it's just like whenever anybody brings up Amber and how she's treating her family, whenever anybody brings up how Amberlynn is treating her family or how family treated her, or points out any inconsistencies that is being made about her story, about her life, Amber immediately goes on the defensive. And what's her defense? Well, my mother's a great woman. My mother is amazing. My mother would never do any of that. My mother is an amazing person. She's so great. And it's like, okay, well, that's great that you think your mother's a great person. You also say she was the worst person ever and led to all of your trauma, and now that you needed someone, it's completely different. So it's like, which one is it? I just think it's stupid, especially for how she denies other people their experiences, and then immediately goes into, well, actually, we had a great relationship because she said the same shit about what's her name? Destiny. About Destiny and her mother, Beck and her mother, where she was like, I actually had a really good relationship with them by the end of it. Like, they were like, you're like my daughter. It's like, that never happened. Amber, that never happened. That genuinely just never happened. Because you're speaking about it with people who cannot defend themselves, so now you're saying that that's gospel, that's true. That's fucked up, Amber. That's fucked up. Kind of like the transphobic comment that you made, that's also fucked up. Because again, you're out here talking about experiences that it's apparently yours, but for you, every experience that you had is apparently you somehow mocking somebody for something. You're constantly mocking somebody for something and bringing them down to bring yourself up. That way you feel as though what you're saying and what you're doing is better. It's not insulting. It's like okay for you to basically make those comments, make fun of other people. And it's like, God forbid if someone does the same thing, because it's like, again, if anybody, ooh, actually my hair looks better in the front. If somebody were to make fun of Amber for God knows anything, it's fat phobic. It's always fat phobic. Let's just be quite honest. It's fat phobic. It's ableist. It's fat phobic. Fat phobic. This, and this. But it's like, okay, well, Amber, you're transphobic. I'm quite blatantly telling you it's transphobic. Well, it's not because it's not transphobic because they're not, the person who I was talking about wasn't trans, but the person you were addressing was. My cat left. So I was closing my door. Outfit of the day. I'm wearing a white top turtleneck. Isn't it cute? This kind of like, it's a little frumpy because I have to like iron it again. Is my ass out? This white mini denim skirt from Target. I got it before the boycott. And I'm just wearing some Clark platform loafers. Or my boyfriend calls them the loafs. The loaves. I'm wearing the loafs. Anyway. Oh fuck, what was I saying? No, the person that you were addressing is trans. What you were quite blatantly being transphobic. It's not a yes or a no question. It's not whether or not they were or weren't. It's the fact that you made a comment saying you were also fingered by a dickless man. Knowing that Casey is trans, that in of itself is transphobic. And whether she didn't even come up with an excuse for it, she genuinely did it. All of it was just her saying a bunch of gobbledygook to basically say like, no, I'm not talking. It just wasn't transphobic. It wasn't transphobic because I said it wasn't transphobic. Like, okay. And then not only that, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I watched the live stream in clips and pieces, bits and bytes, because I couldn't watch it. I'm not watching that bitch. But like, she's talking about her mother, and I'm sorry, Tammy brought it up also, where like she was like, her mother is losing money because Amber is basically forcing her to pick her up and then take her from wherever she needs to be, even when she's at work. Hello? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she responded with, well, no, my mom still gets paid. No, you don't. No, you don't. Where I work at, if we're dressed inappropriately or we're wearing something that isn't allowed, for example, we get sent home and we do not get paid for the time of when we get sent out and then until we come back. That's not how any job works. The only way she's going to be doing that is if she has a paid lunch or paid breaks. But assuming, I don't know where she works at. I don't know her job like that. I'm assuming her job is just a fairly normal corporate mundane job where it's kind of like when you're here, you get paid. When you're not here, you don't get paid. So if you're leaving, you're not going to get paid. And I'm sorry, I know some people brought up also like, oh, well, You know, if you're, because Amber loves to say, oh, if you have a child and if your daughter was sick, would you not take her anywhere? That's different, Amber. That's very different. You're 34, 34, 35. You're pushing 50. You don't know how to drive. Again, as someone who also doesn't drive and also kind of still needs their mommy and daddy to take them places and other people, like, yeah, you have to. My thing is, like, as also someone who's an adult, I understand that my schedule is now only set up for their schedule too. I cannot tell people when and where they can go and tell them to change at the gust of a wind because I need it. You know what I mean? I am now the variable. They are not the variable. I don't get to tell them. And it's different if I plan ahead. I.e., let's say, for example, I need to get a ride because I have a doctor's appointment. I don't have insurance. But if I did and I needed to go to, like, the doctor's or whatever, like, hello? I would probably ask in advance for my mom or my dad or a friend, my boyfriend, somebody to be like, hey, can one of you guys give me a ride? And if not, bus or Uber. I'm sorry, when I went to college, I did not know how to drive. I took an Uber if I needed, or I would take the bus and then a BART to get where I needed to go. So it's like, there's many a way. You're just choosing not to have that because of comfortability. And if that's your choice of comfortability, okay, but the caveat is you're the variable. You don't get to tell your mom, get out of work right now. I need you because I need to go to Target because I have to go to a doctor's appointment. That's poor planning on your end. And poor planning does not constitute an emergency on my end. That's your fault. But of course, her brain immediately goes to, if you're not bending yourself backwards for me, you're a bad person. But instead of her saying, if you don't do what I want, that makes you bad. Her philosophy is, if you're not breaking your back and bending over for everybody, how dare you? You're a horrible human being. And not only that, I do not like her thought and her behavior when it comes to her thought process of, oh, well, I was lying to protect someone. A lie's a lie. When you lie, you lied. Point that blank period. You're lying to lie. You're lying. That's it. Like, you're protecting one and sacrificing all the others. That's a lie. You're sacrificing your reputation and the respect between you and the audience, whether they're haters or not. You're breaking the silent seal of trust with one another, because the trust is supposed to be, I'm telling you my honest truth. As Amber said, I'm telling you nothing but the truth, all the truth. Is my nail crooked? I think my nail is crooked. I don't know, because this finger kind of points that way. Anyway, you're breaking the contract of basically back and forth of trust. As I'm pretty sure like right now for my audience, what I'm telling you guys are taking as my word, as the truth of what I'm telling you. Granted, this is literally just all opinion based right now because I'm just doing a rant. But when I'm telling you, for example, like, I got a notification for Pinterest. If I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know, hey guys, sorry, I won't be able to record for a few days or whatever, a few months, because we've seen how my schedule is. Hey guys, I'm not gonna be able to record for a few months because, you know, I'm moving out and things have gone downhill, blah blah blah. That's you guys taking what I'm telling you as the truth, because again, this is fucking YouTube. Why would I have every reason to lie and every reason to tell the truth on both ends. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to simple things, to like whatever Amber's doing. No, you're straight up just lying to lie. You want to lie about what level of a house you live on. That way you don't seem as if your chest does. If you're immobile and you can't move, you're almost 600 pounds, Amber, and you have to walk sideways to come through a door. If you're big as hell. We know you are. There's no shame in you saying, bitch, I don't fit through normal doors. You're not a normal-sized person. You're not normal. Sorry. Not to sound fat-phobic, but it's like, sorry, Amber, you're not a normal-sized person. Is this pink cuter? Would this pink be cuter? Hold up, wait. Wait, I think I'm gonna wear this pink. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna wear this one. Oh, wait. Wait, this one sounds cuter. Yeah, I'm gonna wear this one. Look at how much cuter that one is. Because the other one, it was by Ulta. I liked it, but I was like, I feel like it's just a little too nudie. And I wanted something a little more pinky. Look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Because I think denim and pink, like, isn't that cute? Like, isn't it? Yeah, that's super cute. I think denim and pink is, like, such a cute color combo. Amber will continuously lie for no reason. She's just lying just to lie, just to be completely honest. And to me, that's just fucking crazy, because it's like, how the hell are you lying? Just to, like, lie, just to fib, just to tell a tale. And she sits there and says, oh, I did it just to protect someone. I'm doing it to protect someone. You're protecting one person and sacrificing your word. That's what you're doing. And you can sit there and say, I don't regret it. That's your moral. Your moral is I'm okay with lying and completely ruining any reputation or any trust that I have with anybody because I need to soothe myself. And she can sit there and say to protect someone. It's not to protect someone, it's to protect yourself. If you have to lie, you're protecting yourself. And in this case specifically, you're protecting yourself. You're not how are you protecting Emily by lying and saying that you're not in a relationship? People were still messaging her. People were still going out of their way to talk to her. You are not protecting anybody. How are you protecting, like, I can't think of any person besides herself that she's protecting by lying. Like, there is no one that she's necessarily protecting when it comes down to it, because it's like you're only protecting yourself, because you know for a fact that with Emily the same thing was happening. Genuinely, like, the same thing was happening for both Emily and for Amber. When she was lying, it was always still people were saying you're still going out with Emily and you're a liar and she's still a feeder. And Emily, it was still Emily and her. Emily either A, does not like Amber and she's continuously like talking shit about her because she's messaging multiple other people and telling all the tea. She's telling everybody about everything that's involving you and her. And your response to all of that is always, I was lying to protect her. Nothing changed. And then when you two broke up, and the whole video happened with Mr. Snowflake, the tell-all, suddenly, now you're like, well, I was pretending to protect her. What were you protecting? All of this was already out in the open. Everything we were already knowing. Again, it's like the CEO from Crumble. We knew he was gay. Did you want me to act shocked? I'm not shocked. So I don't know why she lied. Well, I do know why she lies. We all know why she's lying. It's just, we're playing a little bit of pretend. But it's like, it's so unfathomable to think like, oh, I'm going to lie to protect someone. And it's like, you're literally protecting no one. Oh, gotta go. Okay, I'll be back when I come home from work. We will talk more about this. I'm going to write notes while I'm at work. That way I can remember. I will come back. All right. Hi, everybody. It's me again. I'm back from work. Did my job. Stressed the fuck out.
Got a Dr. Pepper. I got a Dr. Pepper, and I have a little cat on my lap. That's my cat. I love my cat. That's my beautiful little cat. Her name is Beautiful, because I thought she was a girl when I got her, but she's actually, it's a girl. It's a girl cat.
I think the last thing that I said was, it was about lying. So yeah, no, Amber will fully lie in order to quote-unquote protect herself and all that. And it's like, no, you're just lying. But now, what I was trying to say is, now, after work, oh my god, Jesus. I'm just now getting home from work. It was a long day. And so much has happened. Amber has recently gone on a live stream. From what I've gotten, she was on a live stream for 10 minutes and then immediately left because she got mad and then left. She rage quitted again. And I think she's getting mad at like the audience for pretty much, because I think right now she's probably at peak hate right now, if I'm being honest, which I do not feel bad for her, because in all honesty, she kind of deserves it. She kind of does deserve like the ire, because she's been acting like a bitch. Like, I'm sorry. And I guess I'm not sure what the hell she's talking about. I guess, just quickly looking from what Shrimpgate 2019 said, Amber was, I guess, like accusing her aunt of being a PDF apologist, which is crazy on her end, counting the fact that she was someone who fully did say on the record, on what you call it, on her Tumblr or something, where she said it's okay to basically be a pedophile because that's who you are. So, you know, you gotta get help, but that's just who you are. And she compared it to being gay. And then that whole shit with Libby. Yeah, Amber, you're not really the one who needs to talk about whether or not someone is a PDF apologist or not. You can see that Aunt Tammy released a video, her first video on YouTube. She released her first video on YouTube and it's hot. She released her first video on YouTube and it was her quickly just showing a receipt that shows that even though after Amber broke up with Tammy broke up with Casey, she's going to move in with, what's her name, Crystal. She brings up about how she still will have love in her heart for Casey and all of that. And it's just like, that's very weird, because you were the one who was saying that you would never apologize and never forgive and all of that bullshit. She was just straight up like, I'm never going to have anything for this person ever again. What do we do now? Now that Amber is going on live streams to be smug for like 10, 20 minutes and then get mad because people start calling. Oh, that was something that I wanted to say. I said this in a video that I recorded prior. She got upset at this one live. I believe it was her live from 2 to 3 days ago from as of me recording this. She basically says, you know, that she wanted people to roast her. Actually, it might have been more than just 3 to 4 days. Anyway, she basically was just like, oh yeah, roast me, roast me. I want everybody to roast me. Go ahead and roast me. I want you to say all that. She wanted people to roast her. She wanted people to give her that fever. And then she gets upset that people were roasting her. And then the next live stream she goes up, she's like, I'm not going to do a live stream and have people basically like insult me. Like, you asked for it. You quite blatantly asked for it. I would never do a live stream with myself as like the punching bag. I'm not doing that. I would never create an environment where people who do not like me and actively do not like me, and I am conscientious of the fact that people do not like me and do not feature me at all, I would never, 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 never then go on a place where people can say what they want and respond to me however the fuck they want and really drag me. And sit there and be so confused as to why they're being mean and then being like, yeah, you know what, bye. Boop. Like, no. You walked into it. You made your own problem and then you got upset that you made your own problem? How the fuck does that even happen? I think it's so silly, so stupid. Because again, it goes into the whole thing of Amber made her own problem and now she's mad that there's a problem. You literally made your own situation. It's very funny in a way. It's almost like a social experiment. Or like, again, I think Amber's mentality is stuck in like that middle school bully mentality, which is a crazy thing when you're pushing 40. And I know Amber made a video where she was saying like,
That's crazy to say, like, I'm pushing 40 when I'm 35, because that's like telling a 17-year-old that you're basically pushing 20.
and it's like, yeah, there's a difference between that, Amber. Your brain has already fully developed. You really don't really hit any more landmarks by the time you're in your 30s. Yes, you can still hit certain landmarks. Again, you can hit landmarks at whatever age you are. But like, Amber, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but at this point it's like, well, what changes for you from being 20 to being 30? You're being 40 and you're still acting like you're 13. And I'm all for, you know, being a kid at heart and being young. There you go. Sorry, switch the camera angles. Anyways, these live streams, in my honest opinion, are going to be the death of Amber. Because I'm sorry, I don't think anybody really likes these live streams that Amber's doing. I don't think a majority of you guys are actively looking for these live streams that Amber... My little soda pop. Sorry about that, y'all. I accidentally stopped the recording. As a quick thing, things keep going. Things just keep happening in girl world. Things just keep happening, and I can't continue to continue. There are so many things that keep happening that is like non-stop. And it's so hard to continue with this. So I'm gonna hope to God that I can get this done soon. That way I can still be on trend with stuff going on in girl world. But things just keep happening. Things keep happening. And again, like these live streams literally happened less than a week ago, and it already feels like it was eons. And Tammy's still on Amber's neck. Amber's still crying about shit that don't even matter. Like, things change, but nothing really does. You know what I mean? Oh, God. And I'm now getting annoyed because I'm like, oh, God, I ran out of things to say, and I hope that I said everything I needed to. Alright, everybody. So, more things ended up popping out since I ended up leaving and finishing my recording, since I finished recording. And Amber went on a live stream that lasted a whopping 10 minutes, to which she called and accused her aunt of being a PDF file apologist, and she ended up leaving that live stream because everybody, I think, accused her of pretty much lying and being unhinged, where she then cried, then came back for a solid minute and said that she was only fingered by 4 people in her life, and it was Destiny, Beck, Feline, and the other one, Tommy. But within her doing that, she also dispels her own claim of Casey essaying her, which I mean, like, again, I frankly just never did believe the SA thing, just because it's like, her biggest thing was her saying everything I said was true, but then Casey's narrative is the exact opposite, and his story is corroborated by his own mother. Amber's story is corroborated by herself, and like how I said earlier in the video, I believe, her story is always based on the idea of how whenever she says anything, specifically right now in this current time of her life, any story she says, she immediately needs her mother to become like the corroboration, like the whole I'm telling you the truth because my mom also agrees with me, which is a very stupid way to try and say, yes, I'm right, or what I'm telling you is true. Um, and since she made that video, as I believe, like a response because Aunt Tammy showed that Amber kind of was still trying to have love for Casey after the breakup, which is a very weird thing to feel if someone did abuse you in that way. Because most of the time, most people don't still love their abusers. But I don't know. I am fortunately never been a person who was sexually or physically, mentally, or emotionally abused, and that's a very fortunate thing to be because, again, it's you know. Um, I'm sorry. I'm recording this at like 2:03 a.m. LOL. So Amber, Aunt Tammy, after I guess watching Amber's slander or claim against her, has pretty much said, I'm going to be suing you. And that makes me giggle because I think Amber has definitely had a lot of moments where she could have been sued, but knowing that she exhausted everybody else physically, emotionally, and financially, yeah, what would they do? There's no way that if you exhausted me out of all my money and out of everything, I'm not going to, I would just have to take the L at that point. But I think Amber got the right one this time. And I hope, even if it is just, for lack of better words, just like a threat, it will at least humble Amber enough to shut the hell up. And I just think, again, Amber's completely unhinged. She's kind of doing what she did with Beck back when Beck was creating their videos. Amber's tactic when it comes to people who don't like her, or when it comes to people who are kind of gagging her and kind of clocking her tea, her tactic is let me throw everything that I can on the wall and let me, what's the word, like overstimulate, overdo. Let me just keep throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing everything at the wall. I'm gonna keep bombarding you, overwhelming you, and doing so much to the point where where either two things happen. I believe Hector was the one who said this. You will just Amber will keep throwing and overwhelming and throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing until either A, you relent because you not everyone can continuously go toe to toe with everything that's being thrown, especially with someone who's absolutely abhorrent to what you're saying and just absolutely ignoring everything that you're saying and wants to come out the winner. So no one will really have the energy to continuously go against it, and Amber takes silence as a win. Or the other side is one thing will stick. Amber is currently doing that because Aunt Tammy, in a way, used Amber's tactic against Amber and bested her at it. She overwhelmed Amber in that call by kind of throwing everything on Amber, and she herself couldn't defend herself. She herself had nothing to say because she was slammed in the face with truth. Whereas now Amber, since she's now allowed to be bold because there was no one to confront her and actually shut her the hell up, Amber is trying to throw as much as she can against Tammy. She's trying to throw as much as she can against Tammy to try and make her her character and her credibility seem less than, ignoring the fact that Amber has already made her own credibility immensely weak by her already admitting that she lied about her aunt when she first even mentioned her on her videos. Which also, as a quick tangent of that one, I was just thinking about this. Amber, one of Amber's things that she's been saying a lot of is how no one in Amber's family fucks with her aunt Tammy, and she is saying, "Oh, doesn't that tell your Amber, or doesn't that tell Tammy's character about how her own daughter doesn't want to talk to her?" To which, yeah, I can understand. Like, that's a very complex issue that I don't think Amber even knows the full scope of. But it's also like Amber, she also has another daughter that does talk to her. So where do we go from there? And again, going with Amber's logic, then wouldn't it be the same for her kind of fact that her grandmother had kicked her out of her own house when she was a teenager and made her move in with Casey while Casey was a minor and Amber was an adult? Wouldn't doesn't that make what's her name like Amber also in the same vein as what she's saying with Tammy, since her own mother, her grandmother, like every person that she met, all of her girlfriends and partners, all of them had abandoned her and said the same thing? Would that not put her in the same vein, or does she have a specific different rule now? Well, we know. I mean hyperbolic, but like that's literally the truth. Amber fully like is ignoring the absolute like logical fallacy that she has within her own claim of saying no one in my family fucks with Tammy, so therefore she's wrong. That tells her character. But also every person who is in Amber's intimate life does not involve themselves with Amber at all and has actively denounced her and called her out, including her own friends like Pug Alexis, or even fucking her own girlfriend like Emily. They have denounced you numerous times, and yet you feel as if like you're still in the right because no, they wronged you and your response is right. To which I would say with Tammy, with the way how Amber's family is, no, I feel like your whole family is fucked up. Tammy has even said, no, girl, we're all fucked up. She sat there and said, no, girl, we're all fucked up. And if I'm guilty, then I'm guilty, but we're all fucked up. So therefore, Amber, shut the hell up. You sound stupid, but that's no news to nobody. I just think it's really fucking disgusting that Amber is using something as serious as essay, and not only just essay as it is, because essay as it is already just absolutely a horrible thing to try and use as a gotcha moment, but to use the essay of fucking children and then use that as to get as to be your gotcha moment, and not only that, you then say you oh my god, I'm sorry, it like literally gets me flustered, but you use this to try and lobby and make people go against her with the idea of if you negate or don't listen or believe what I'm saying, then you by default are not a person who believes in victims. You by default are a person who does not believe in the word, like you just never trust victims at all. And I think that's an absolutely fucking disgusting and absolutely mentally abusive, mentally horrible, just repugnant thing to do, to try and get someone to like to get your audience to believe in what you say as gospel. And if there's any questions or disbelief in what you're saying, despite you already being a known liar, that we have to believe what you say, because if not, then that means we side with an abuser, despite you also already being an abuser of many a thing. But just the idea of you saying the whole sentence of, oh, this is why victims don't come out, when this is a very serious thing that has very serious gravitas behind it. It's just absolutely so tone deaf, and I think it really speaks volumes of the character, the person of Amber. And in my opinion, it shows that for Amber, when you back her into a corner and she's clawing and doing every tactic, everything is on the table. It doesn't matter what's up with her, everything is on the table, and she's going to use anything to basically defend her claim and her point. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Pink to most, Cat to some. But for Amber, if you're watching this, my pronouns are she, her. Yes, I'm trans, and I am actively calling you transphobic. Now, whether another trans person agrees with me or disagrees, that's not my business. I don't really care. I'm just quite blatantly saying that in my truth, you are transphobic. And you're gonna have to live with the fact that you kind of are.